always giving me reflection about what I'm doing day to day. Well, I'm Glenn Rosenholmer. I'm sort of senior advisor, now helping the clients to find stability, and often their operation, if they're a global player, call for many dimensions. And both dimensions and layers. And when networks I work with need improvement, it often is to build something that should be able to stand and work for more than next month. It has to work for 2 or 3 years at least. So I also see that as a very, very challenging mission and vision I get from my clients.
And why is this not done very often, and why is it so important?
Well, I think the ambition is there, but because of this experience and the fortune to be working in several types of businesses, and I do think I have some insights to the key factors, and those are the fact that it's not set off enough time with the roadmaps and guidance that really need to be in place before you go ahead. If you like, you have to draw the map, and you have to draw the map in several different dimensions before you start the costly start of doing the physical work. And also, well, sorry to interrupt, but also I think that, you miss the expertise from all the functions. I mean, unfortunately, and typically one only or two functions drive the initiative, and you're not getting the focus from the whole functions, meaning sales, marketing, logistics, production, distribution, and all the expertise needs to be there to give an expertise and the angles they can provide to do a really good work, a solid network.
So how do you identify meaningful relationships in your supply chain?
Well, one way of putting it is that obviously you need contracts, you need a contract manager that the supplier follows what was said in the procedures and so on, and key numbers that we set up in terms of lead times, etc., etc. But I have seen a tendency that several decision makers, they built a lot too much, I would say, trust on a lawyer hired to write document. And when it's written, it's perceived as some sort of written law. And life is, day to day is not that. It's very pragmatic. It needs to work on a daily basis, on a weekly basis. And therefore, I do believe that, the trust between people, and people build solid relations and respect to each other, even if it's if it's a supplier or if it's a customer, but it's business to business, and it's people business all the time, even if doesn't matter which type of industry. And therefore, I think many, as I see it, have overconfidence in written documents, and they should be much more focusing on the solid work practice in the network.
Where is the real opportunity for supply chain professionals and executives, and what should they do to get started?
Well, I just written a small piece, or whatever you want to call it, in LinkedIn, which is one of those networks for business people. And I think I was not too explicit about the fact that you should never underestimate the bullwhip effect. And the bullwhip effect and what it can cause you if you don't think end to end, and the added complexity. For instance, when you go and have a new country, and you need to sort of go into another country, enter a country or a continent with your product, it is so easy not to think the whole way through, and end-to-end thinking it can be very easy to forget. And another thing is, like, everybody talks about the voice of your customer, but you really find out what is the customer's real interest if you do your homework, not only by some sort of questionnaire. You need to meet them, and you need to understand, behind what is perceived as added value, and will be, your luck, which is not a luck. You have just prepared yourself to do the best for your operation and your business. So I would say one idea, if you're in the workshop status and you're in the beginning, you should actually, every meeting you have, if you call it meeting or workshop, decide something yourself. You need to have the sort of voice of the customer status. How have we gained insight in the customer's perceived added value, and how did we do it? You should also start every session of workshop. What is the foreseen worldwide effect as we see it for the moment? I mean, we learn for every day, and have to have that as well as a guide. And my recommendation is start with these two: the voice of the customer status, and what is the foreseen worldwide effect, and try to guide yourself in the logistic initiatives to deliver a solid network by repeat that and never forget it. That's my quick advice. Yes.
Well, thank you, Glenn, for sharing today.
Well, thank you, Dustin. It's good to be on, and I hope you have a really good day, and I hope that I can add some thoughts, if there's another issue or business area that somebody needs to have input in.